Everything that rocks, Laser 103.3, just after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's not every day that you can welcome good friends back in the studio who you haven't seen in like 3 years. But ladies and gentlemen, my very good friends Crispin and Eric of the band Veer Union are in town, in studio, live in the flesh. Hey guys.
Hey, how you doing,
Andy,
man?
how you doing, brother? Long time, man.
It has been a minute, right?
It has 3 big, long minutes.
Exactly. That must be West Coast time or something.
Pretty much.
A new album in stores as of last Tuesday entitled Divide the Blackened Sky. Now, the first thing I want to ask you guys is what took so long between Against the Grain and Divide the Blackened Sky?
Well, I mean, you know, it's funny because most of the record was actually finished quite quickly, but you know, due to there's been some tough times in the industry. I think a lot of tough times for a lot of bands. You know, changing labels, finances. You know, we essentially funded this record completely ourselves to make it happen, and so that's been difficult as well. So you know, we had the option of going and putting money into cars, and we didn't. We decided to keep sleeping on our mattresses on the floor, and we took, you know, a couple $100,000 that we made off the last record, and we put it into this one. So.
There's a reason I led with that question, because it's the toughest question. Number one, it gets easier from here, trust me.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to make sure you guys get a lot of credit, because, you know, there are tough times in the industry, and not every band has smooth sailing. This has certainly not been easy from point A to point B for the Veer Union, but since the success of Against the Grain, here you are back out on the road again doing what you love to do, and it sure beats the alternative, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
There was points where we didn't know if this was even going to see the light of day, so to be out on the road touring off it is great.
We are very excited because you guys are in town tonight playing a show at Woolies in the East Village with My Darkest Days. Now, for those not familiar, Woolies is Des Moines' newest concert venue, and so you literally are getting a chance to break this place in, which is pretty exciting.
We're very excited, man.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
And we expect a decent crowd out there today. You guys made a lot of fans when you played Laser Fest 2009.
Oh, cool. That was
really,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we're definitely a fan of Des Moines for sure.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the subsequent trips after Laser Fest, obviously you guys saw some pretty nice crowds here. And again, you know, it's a case of, I know you're always worried when you take time away that people are going to forget.
Yeah.
But when you make an impression like you guys did at Laser Fest in 2009, there's no way possible. I'll tell you what, I got a bunch of friends on Facebook and Twitter. This thing's just blowing up, so I know people are excited about the fact the Veer Union are back. So
awesome. Well, we're excited to be back, man.
Well, it feels like kind of a rebirth for you guys now, right?
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely had to change the way, you know, we think and do things, and you know, we're so excited to still be able to do it, you know.
Well, let's talk about the new album for a bit. Divide the Blackened Sky has everything that you'd expect out of the Veer Union if you enjoyed Against the Grain as much as I did. Although I will say the tone on this record, and perhaps it has a little something to do with some of the difficulties you guys have had to deal with the past couple of years.
Absolutely.
This is a much harder hitting album, really, when you listen to it.
Definitely a lot heavier. It's a lot darker, and
bit of a concept record.
Definitely, yeah. Concept is being a little bit pissed off.
Yes.
I was going to say, you know, you have to sort of delve in when
some anger in there.
When you throw a term like concept record out there. Okay, we're not talking like Shooter Jennings, who is a country guy but writes a Pink Floyd sounding album. That's not what this is.
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, it's just like it seemed like every topic that came up, we've always written songs from the heart, and it was just like we kept on, you know, just every topic kind of was just about surviving.
Yeah, it was a battle. It was a fight, whether it be inner or outer. Everything just was a battle.
Do either of you spend a lot of time listening to other music? I mean, you know, are there bands that you're really into besides the obvious ones that have influenced you? Crispin, I know you're a huge Led Zeppelin fan, for example. But are there bands that you listen to sort of get you in a certain headspace?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that every artist, to some degree, is always listening to something. And, you know, like, for example, I know I didn't think that I would like this artist, but I've been listening to the new Florence and the Machine record like crazy. And it's so not what I would normally listen to, but there's something about it that's just so heavy, you know, emotionally about her new record. And so, yeah, there's always something that kind of, you know, digs inside you that is going to make you inspire you to write something completely different than what's inspiring you. You know what I mean?
I'll admit to you, as a radio DJ and working at a rock station, that I've been a big fan for a long time, and I was there before it was cool to be an Adele fan. But that's one of them records that you wouldn't think.
Totally.
You know, if you think you know me, you have no idea.
Yeah, totally.
Because totally into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, the funny thing is what sorts of things inspire a musician to write a song. We all know that album in particular was about the breakup that she was going through at the time. But you know, you had to have had a lot of different things going on in terms of what you wrote these songs about on the new album.
Yeah, well, you know, I think that one big thing is in, you know, I know everyone seems to be shying away about talking about it, but the truth is people don't understand how much downloading for free is hurting new artists. It's not hurting artists that are already you know, 20 years ago, successful,
sold millions of records.
You know, it's the new artists. There's so many great artists that we're fans of that we probably won't hear their next record because of the fact that people just think that it's okay to go and download. It's killing new artists, and we're a perfect example of one of those bands that, you know, we're just out there struggling to try to continue to get music out there, and so hopefully people will listen and hopefully start to understand how important it is to go and support artists.
The nice thing about doing shows like the one here tonight, and you guys have been on tour here doing some shows here and there, is the fact that you actually sell a physical copy of your CD at your shows.
100%, yeah.
And you know, that's something that's sort of been lost in this day and age of MP3s and downloads. You mentioned the free stuff, but people do pay for these things too.
For sure.
Yeah,
but
man.
to actually, you know, I'm old school. I'm sure maybe you guys are too.
Absolutely. And you know what? When I say those negative things, I'm not saying it's all negative. There's still so many people out there that still do believe and still do follow, and you know, there's nothing cooler than being able to sell our CD at the show, and you know, there's several people that definitely want that physical copy, and they still believe it's important to get the liner notes, and you know what I mean? I'm one of those people for sure.
It's all of it.
Love the artwork.
Totally.
No doubt, right?
Artwork, yeah.
I mean, this goes back to when I was, you know, buying LPs when I was a kid. I might be dating myself there, but Crispin and Eric of the Veer Union in studio. Again, the show is tonight at Woolies in the East Village, along with My Darkest Days. Showtime, I believe, is 5:30. They're going to have everybody out of there by 9 o'clock tonight. So it's an early show. If you don't have your tickets yet, you can certainly buy them right there at the venue. Everybody else, though, looking forward to a great show here tonight.
We're looking forward to rocking out, man, for sure.
Well, let's do some rocking out live on the radio. You brought some instruments in.
You bet.
And I'm assuming that you're going to play the first single off of Divide the Blackened Sky, a song called The Bitter End.
That is correct.
How's that for an intro? Ladies and gentlemen, the Veer Union, take it away.
My mind is clear. I have no fear. 'Cause now I know the other side of me. I'm letting go of who I used to be. Now I'm alive, I'm feeling born again, and I will fight into the bitter end. Took 1,000 scars to find me. Every one of them reminds me I won't ever surrender like that. I know better to ever fall back. The enemy was living in my head. I ripped it out and left it there for dead. Now I'm alive, I'm feeling born again, and I will fight until the bitter end. I found my way through jaded days. 'Cause now I know the other side of me. I'm letting go of who I used to be. Now I'm alive, I'm feeling born again, and I will fight until the bitter end. Took 1,000 scars to find me. Every one of them reminds me I won't ever surrender like that. I know better to ever fall back. The enemy was living in my head. I ripped it out and left it there for dead. Now I'm alive, I'm feeling born will fight until the bitter end. My mind is clear. I have no fear. It took 1,000 scars to find me. Memories remain. I won't ever surrender like that. I know better to ever fall back. The enemy was living in my head. I ripped it out and left it there for dead. Now I'm alive, I'm feeling born again, and I will fight until the bitter end.
From Divide the Blackened Sky, ladies and gentlemen, my special guests in studio, Crispin and Eric from the band The Veer Union, and that was Bitter End.
You bet.
First single from the new album, and we look forward to seeing that one all plugged in and rocked out tonight.
It's going to happen.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking some time to stop in and hang out.
Thank you so much
always
for
a
having us
pleasure,
again, man.
Thank you.
I mean, I know
sure.
this isn't nearly as exciting as the other times we've hung out, but
There's always tonight. There's always
Absolutely.
tonight.
there is tonight, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for coming in. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much, man.
The show again is at Woolies in the East Village, and tickets are still available. You can get yours right there at the door. Showtime 5:30, and they're going to kick everybody out of there by 9 o'clock tonight. So that gives us plenty of time for
Go other places.
to make all kinds of trouble all over Des Moines.